All right, this video is going to be a hodgepodge of different things. I'm answering questions from viewers, and then a viewer wanted me to do a shop tour, so I'm going to do another shop tour. I haven't done one in a couple years. But anyways, this is for Super Duper IDK, and he asked about how to tighten up action on really loose pliers. Now, I couldn't find it, but Scout Crafter's got one that's really good, but I couldn't find it. So if you want to look up Scout Crafter and look through some of his videos, he does have one that's really good. And what I've done in the past, and it works for me, let's see if I can get, there's my, I'll set it on my little homemade anvil here, and I have been able to use my ball peen and hit the pivot. And what I say about the pivot, it's right there in the center. See the outline of the pivot? I can't see. I hope it's coming out in the camera. Right there, the outline. I try to hit the center of that. Usually I hit, there's two sides, one smaller than the other, and I hit the larger side. You can also take a socket, just get you an old socket that fits just inside the circle. That seems to work pretty good too. Now, if I was going to do that, I'd hold it with a pair of pliers, because I'm a dum-dum and I'll smash my fingers. And you don't want to hit it really hard. You want to go at this really slowly, because you can get it too tight. Just set it on there and then tap it in. This is a pair of Kleins that I cleaned up, and they're not loose. I just wanted to show you. Or the other thing you can do, and I've done this and it's worked, open the vise up and stick the socket on that circle, and then tighten the vise up and slowly tighten it up. Now, if you're going to do this, take a piece of tape. Here, let me grab some tape real quick. Be right back. Take a piece of tape and center the pivot, the socket in that pivot. Now, you could hammer that, or you could put it in the vise and just slowly close it and tighten it a little at a time. That should, you got to be careful though. One, make sure your vise is capable of putting some pressure. I don't want you to break a jaw or something like that. Put it in the center of the jaws and you should be okay. But instead of holding it just with a pair of pliers, you can do that right there and just tap it. Give it a few taps. Try your motion, see how it is. You know, this one was in good shape. I couldn't find, I've got a video, I think I made one where I tapped it with the ball peen hammer. I literally just sat there and just tapped it a couple times. The only problem doing that is I defaced it a little bit. I didn't like that. The socket idea works great. Just get, I don't even know what brand socket this is. I got this out of it. It's a USA made. But just tape it right to the center of the pivot and then give it a little pressure, and a little at a time. So I hope that helps you, Mr. Super Duper IDK. I'm sorry, I have to look at the computer. Anyways, that's what I would do. So I hope that helps. Let me know. I'll try to post this video tomorrow so you guys can see the shop. All right, on to the next question. Be right back. Okay, this part of the video is for Kevin Cutler, 8894. Kevin Cutler, 8894. And he asked me about what compound and wheel do I use on chrome. Well, I'm no expert at this at all. Anytime you see me using a polishing wheel or a buffing pad, I'm practicing. It's my tool, so I don't care how it turns out. I've had very good luck. I've got a pretty good rhythm going, and it works for me. There's guys out there, let you know right now, there's guys out there that do a very good job, and they do quality work that I've seen online. They just don't show all the steps, and it frustrates me because they cut in and I can't see. That's why my videos are so long. I try not to cut things out, or I fast forward things and go to the next step, because it irritates me when I can't see what's going on. Anyways, normally what I start on when I start buffing, come over here, I got stations. Right here is my wire wheel. I'll start on the wire wheel and I'll clean the tool up. Now, if it needs to go in Evaporust, well, I don't use Evaporust anymore because it's so expensive. It doesn't work that great anyways. I use vinegar. I'll go back to the wire wheel, rinse it off. If you use vinegar, make sure you use, to rinse it after it's in the vinegar for a while, you need to rinse it with baking soda and some warm water to neutralize the acid in the vinegar. If not, it continues working until it stops. So, just to let you know. But normally I go to the wire wheel, then I'll come to flapper wheel. I've got two types here. And I come to find out, I think they're the same. I think they're 320 grit, 360. This is 2 half-inch wheels put together. This one here, and this one is 1. They okay. I'm still on the fence on these. They work okay. I can go from that to another wheel, and it seems the other wheel seems to work better than these two. But these do have an use. So I go to that. Then I come over here to my best wheel. The one I like the most is this gray wheel right here. This is this wheel right here. It looks like Scotch-Brite. It feels like Scotch-Brite pad. It literally does. Matter of fact, I've got a Scotch-Brite pad right here. And it feels like a glued Scotch-Brite pad. This, I believe, one of these I bought were 400 and one of these was 600. I think this one's a 600 that's on here. I've lost the paperwork on it, and of course, I bought this long enough ago that it's not on my history, on my Amazon history. So I love this wheel. This I like these. It works really nice. And I'm wearing this down a little bit more. When it wears down a little bit more, I'm going to test it. I'm going to try to put some cutting oil or some 3-in-1 oil on this and see if that makes a difference. I have not tried that yet, but that's my next step. It doesn't matter either way. I like this wheel. It works great. I go from this wheel, and I do not have a 1,000 grit wheel, which that's my next purchase I haven't bought, but I go to a 2,000. Sorry, I'm bouncing around, but that's the way I've got it set up. This is my 2,000 grit wheel. I like this wheel. This wheel, the only thing I didn't like about it when I first purchased it, it was out of round. I don't know if it's the way I mounted it to the wheel, to my motor, which never had a problem with this motor. It's a Black & Decker 6-inch bench grinder. I like it, but this wheel was out of round. But it's kind of worked itself down. I really like it now, and it literally polishes. This 2,000 grit, it's awesome. Now after I use a 2,000 grit, and most of this is done in minutes. I just spend a few minutes on each wheel. Then I come over to my cotton wheel. Now, these cotton wheels, if you use them over time, I'll show you this one. This one's kind of packed. It's kind of thick. It's got a lot of compound on it. So every once in a while, I'll take a Sawzall blade, turn it on, fluff it up. See, fluffed it up. Every once in a while, I just take it, like I said, when I think it gets a little too thick on there, I fluff it up. Now, what I use on the polishing wheel, on this cotton wheel, I think this is an inch wheel, I've used red or brown, I think is what they call it, and the Harbor Freight stuff. This says for copper, brass, and aluminum all-purpose compound. It's brown. I like this stuff. I've got the black. I like the black, and it's for hard metal, rust remover, corrosion, scratches. Tell you the truth, I can't tell the difference between the two. I've used them both at different ways, and I like them both. I can't say anything bad about the Harbor Freight stuff. Now, I have purchased this Formax. I think I bought 6 of these, and I've used quite a bit of it. This is the red rouge, and this is the brown rouge. And it'll tell you on the box what it's for: gold, silver, pewter, sterling, and nickel. And then the brown here says for aluminum, brass, copper, hard rubber, and plastics. I've used them for just about everything, and I can't complain. This stuff works good too. It's big square blocks. Blocks. Let me see. Open this one here. See, it's just a big block. I like it. Can't complain. The only thing is when I'm in town and I'm close to Harbor Freight, I do buy it. I'm not a big deal. If I'm buying something in there that I need, a pair of gloves. Usually, I don't buy much from Harbor Freight except for I love their gloves, the polishing compound. I do not like their buffing wheels because they're too flimsy, too thin. This wheel is a Harbor Freight wheel. And if you look at it, oops, it's really thin. It's only ½ inch. It's flimsy. So I bought this one from Amazon, and I really like it. But that's my finishing touch. Normally what I do is, here, I polish on this one, and then when I'm done polishing on this one, I just walk over here, or step over here, and dry buff it on this wheel. It seems to work better doing it that way. For me anyways, I like doing that, that's what I do. Now, I will tell you, I do have a vacuum system, and my vacuum system is, I've got 4-inch tube hooked up to this, I don't know what you would call that big black thing, but it's the end of a duct. It's mounted my hose is draped over. This is the Harbor Freight sawdust vacuum collection system. Well, I don't need to collect it. I vent it right outside. So all my dust and debris goes outside. Works great. I threw the rest of it away, the dust collecting bag and all that. I tried using it in the beginning, and they didn't work. I didn't like it. So this works for me. I'm sure probably what I should have done is hooked it up to the ceiling and vented out. The hose is not in my way. The shop, I'm the only one in the shop usually, so it doesn't irritate me, it doesn't bother me. Anyways, put this camera down. Sorry, I'm trying to film this and pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, I hope that helps. Hang on, I gotta get back to the computers. And that was for Kevin Cutler, 8894. What compound and wheels do I use? That's what I use. Like I said, I'm just an amateur at this. The tools are for me to use. I'm very picky about my tools. I work in a facility. I've been working at the same facility for 35, going on now 36 years. Tools have to be clean. Very rarely do you wind up, when you walk into an area, your tools are clean. Sometimes when you walk out of an area, your tools are dirty. The other day we had a 4-inch sewer line crack, and when I say crack, we had to replace 47 feet of cast iron pipe, and that's not in the dirt, that's in the ceiling. And if you've ever pulled cast iron pipe out of a ceiling, you got running turds coming down on you, you got piss water coming down on you, it's nasty. So after that, all my tools get cleaned and sanitized before I put them back in the toolbox. So areas that I work in, some of my tools have to be sterile before I go into the area. So I can't walk in with rusty tools. I walk in with tools clean like this. So those of you who don't understand that, think of clinics, hospitals, x-ray rooms, nuclear med rooms, CAT scan rooms, rooms like that. Surgical suites, everything that goes in a surgical suite has to be clean. You cannot go into a surgical suite with nasty tools. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why my tools are clean. Areas that I work in, my tools are as clean as possible because I work in sterilized environments. So, those of you that can walk around with tools in your bucket and all rusty and nasty, that's all good for you. I'm glad you can buy tools and waste your tools that way. I don't do that. I got tools that have lasted me decades. And you pay a tool, you pay for it one time, you keep it up, you maintain it, and it lasts forever. Tools for me make me money or save me money. That's just that simple. And buffing and cleaning them is just part of it. I do sometimes, a lot of my old tools that I've used for years, they'll get a little dirty, they might get a little rust on them. I'll bring them in the shop, clean them up, take them back to work, put them on the toolbox. Well, that's enough. Ladies and gentlemen, for Kevin Cutler, 8894, I hope that answers your question. I've made other videos, polishing videos. I know I've got a lot of videos posted, so I hope this helps. I guess that's enough talking. I got to go on to another one. Y'all have a good day. Okay, this part of the video is for M. Kern724. He asked about bluing, and he doesn't know anything about bluing, but he's got quite a few tools that he's put in Evaporust treatment and doesn't like the way they look, I guess. He asked me, would this cold bluing put color back into them? Yes. Well, let me grab a chrome. Hang on, let me grab a chrome. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I answer some questions. The bluing I like the best is the Brownells. Read the instructions on the back, do it just like it says, it's really simple. You need some 4/0 steel or 1/0 steel. I use 4/0 steel wool, I like it. Sometimes a little brass brush works great too for the crevices. And rinse with this. The Birchwood works. I'm not saying it's a bad product, it's actually a good product. This you have to rinse. And that's the only reason I don't like it, because sometimes you can't get in the crevices. I have to fire up my air compressor and blow it dry and all that. And I use the Brownells just because I like it. Once I find a product I like, I stick with it. Use the same product over and over. That's because it's cheaper in the long run. Now, the bluing. That's the bluing. That's the polish. You can see the difference. This is blued right here, and this is polished. Now, this is blued. This one's blued. Now, every metal takes bluing a little differently. This has got a little bit of pitting. This one had nothing in it, but it took the bluing better. Now, could it have been I didn't clean it properly? Maybe. Right here, the bluing didn't take real good because of the oil left in there, in the pivot. See that? Now, I can go back and re-blue it. Don't need to. These are gonna sit in my toolbox. They don't hurt anything. Now, you have to remember when you use your tools and water gets on or liquid gets on them, you need to wipe them dry when you're done because bluing will rust over time. It's just like any gun or anything that's blued. You can't just let it sit in the water. After you go hunting, or if you're out on duty and you're in the rain, your weapon gets rained on, you stop, wipe it down, clean it, put it up. Some of you guys don't know that, I guess, because I've seen guns lately that were rusted pits. Anyways, there's a hammer I blued. This one turned out really well. It's blacker. I took 2 S-wings. The S-wing on this one didn't take. It's more blue than this one is black. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is. And it could be there again. Did I not clean it properly, completely? I think I did. I thought I did, but it could be the type of steel. This could be a decade older than this one. I don't know which one's older. The steel quality could be different. There's a lot of things that affect bluing. So, blued this little pair of pliers, a slip joint pliers right here. The bluing right here, I used a brass brush on this, so sometimes the brass brush will take some of the, it'll take some of the bluing off. This turned out black, looks nice. Now, I just wanted to show you, this is painted. 5 years ago I had a fire, lost my shop, lost everything in the shop. I was able to salvage some tools. I painted this black. Just a semi-gloss spray paint. It works. The only thing I don't like about the black paint is that the paint will stick to the liners in my drawers, in my toolboxes. That's one thing I don't like about paint. The bluing does not. So, but I wanted to see, you don't have to blue them. You could paint your tools. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's just a good way of protecting. It's a cheap, inexpensive way of protecting your tools. I honestly believe bluing's cheaper, but I like the bluing. I just like the color. I like the way the tools turn out. Now, 2 28-ounce S-wing hammers. One I polished. This one was in a fire. This one was completely, it melted the rubber handle off. It was in really bad shape. This one I sanded down. I actually hand sanded this down. And then I polished it. Could I have blued it? Yes. But this hammer here was bought by my wife and daughter for a Christmas present 37 years ago. So I wanted to make it look nice. So I've had this hammer for quite a while. But I just want to show you, you don't have to blue them. You can polish them. And the only thing with polishing, you got to be careful because the moisture that gets on it, it will rust. You have to keep them clean, and that's why I coat my tools with a wax. The wax helps keep, it makes the water run off. It doesn't stick to it. There's a word for it. I don't know what it is. Don't care. All I know is I keep my tools clean. I wipe them down, but I wanted you to see the differences. And like I said, the bluing it's good. I like it. And that's for M. Kern 724. You know, I wanted you to see mistakes that I made. You can see that the oil didn't take. Now, probably I could re-blue this and go on. You can blue right over the top of it. You don't have to get it, you don't have to strip it. You can just wipe it down and rough the surface with a little steel wool and re-blue it again, not a problem. I don't even think you need to steel wool it, just blue it. Like I said, you can blue and polish. You can do 2 things, or you can blue and paint it. These are nice Boker pliers, by the way, USA. And then, like I said, you can paint. There's nothing wrong. You can paint your tools. You can do a lot. A can of spray paint go a long way on protecting your tools. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope Mr. M. Kern, Kearn 724. God, I hope this helps. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make videos to help people if I can. Bluing simple. This stuff is getting a little more expensive. I'm almost out. I got just a little bit left, so I got to buy. I'm probably going to buy 3 or 4 bottles, just so I'll have it. Permablue, it's good stuff. If you like it, I'm not complaining. I just don't like the rinse part of it. That's the only part I don't like about this. And this is cold bluing. There is a hot bluing. I have done that to a gun barrel before, and it's okay. It's a lot of steps. Now, I will say I am looking right now for a small convection oven. And during the summer here in Oklahoma, you can get 113, 114 degrees. And what I do is I coat these after I blew them with some waste oil and set them in the sun. And the acidic, I think it's the acidic in the oil darkens them, makes them blacker. I really do like the way it looks, and usually you set them in the sun all day. Sometimes I'll set them in the sun for 2 days, just let them outside, and then I bring them in. Usually there's no oil left; it evaporates, and you're left with a real nice tool. When it's cooler, I try to set it in here by my heater. It's 81 degrees in my shop. Up in the rafters, I don't know, it's probably well over 90. So I let them set in the rafters, and it doesn't work as good. The heat's not as good. It's not as warm. So I'm going to try to find a convection oven to where I can put these in the oven and just let them set for about 105 degrees and leave them in there for hours. And I think that'll do the same thing. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Ladies and gentlemen, M. Kern, I hope you like this. I hope it helps. Let me know if it sucks, it sucks. I'm sorry, I'm trying to help you. I'm just an amateur at this. This is what I do for myself. It works for me. I'm anal about keeping my tools clean. My tools cost money. It makes me money. It saves me money. I work for a living. I put in 40 hours a week during the winter, and during the warmer months, it's 80, 90 hours a week. So I have to have tools. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me thumbs up, thumbs down. Well, what am I saying? I'm just going to put all this together in one video. It's going to be a long one. Y'all have a good day. Okay. This is for Dan Miller, 6890. He asked me what grease I use. This is the only grease I have in my shop. I have an old can of wheel bearing grease. It's like 40 or 50 years old. I don't use it. I bought it in a garage sale one time. But my grease guns, this is all I use. Mobile grease, Polyrex EM. This I use at work. I've been in this facility going on 36 years. We have some pump motors, and when I say we have pump motors, I got 3 condenser, 3 chiller pump motors, circulator pumps, 4, 6, 9, 12, 24, 27, 32 pump motors. I know I'm missing some. Recirculating pumps. Everything in our building are air handlers. We got air handlers that are oh God, size of a semi. We've got chillers that are 320 ton units, got 2 of them, got a 60 ton unit. We do not buy any other grease. This is the only grease in our shop. For one, the manufacturer that rebuilt one of our pumps years ago, it failed right after we got it. And they said we had to use this grease. So we took everything out of the shop and bought just this. So it honors the warranties at the time. We have, now these are like $12, $13 a tube. Yeah, they're expensive. For us, we don't have to worry about buying any other grease. We just order this by the cases. We don't worry about it. I buy these from my shop. I get them off Amazon, buy 2 at a time. Normally, this lasts me 3 years. Yeah, about 3 years. I do have a small business on the side, and my equipment, this is what I run on my equipment. This is what I have in my shop. I've got a little bitty grease gun. I have not been able to find the little small cartridges, so I'm probably going to have to get a bigger grease gun and put this in my trailer. But for you, sir, this is what I use. I don't know what else to say, Mr. Dan Miller 6890, but I am a firm believer, if you find something you like, stick with it until someone can prove you wrong. Yeah, somebody out there is going to say, oh, we got this, we got that. I don't care. Use what you like. This is what I use. It's proven in my facility. Everybody that's ever worked there in our facility, we use it. We all use it. So, yeah, good stuff. I like it. Once you find a product, it's a good quality product. And like I said, there is cheaper stuff out there. If some of you can't afford it, don't buy it. Don't use it. Use what you like. If you like the cheap $6 tubes, buy it. It's not a big deal. I have pump motors in my facility, though, that have been working since 1991. Ladies and gentlemen, the pumps are still operational and still running. A couple of them has never been, well, there's several of them, never been rebuilt. There is several of them that's been rebuilt 3 times. Some of our pumps run, well, no, they don't, they run continuously 7 days a week, never shut down. We never shut them down. If they shut down, it's a major catastrophe. We have redundancy backup. That's why we have 3 pumps. Our facility cannot be down. We cannot be without. It's if we're without cooling or heating, our system's set up. If our cooling system falls down and doesn't work, we go to a heating system. We have backup heat for everything. Generators the same way. Anything, yeah, our generators come on within 9 seconds. We cannot be without power. You guys, if you've ever worked in a facility that's called critical infrastructure, which means you're in surgery and the power goes out, that cauterizing tool, it needs electricity. And if he's got it inside your body when the power goes out, that sucks. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. So when we buy things for our facility, we keep it. If it's a good product, there you go. So, anyways, I'm making a commercial for Mobil, ain't I? Good stuff. I don't care. Sir, I hope that answers your question. Like I said, if you run across it, if you like it, let me know. I know there's other products out there. I know there's other companies, and this may be made by a generic company. I don't know. All I know is this is what we use. This is the only grease we stock in our facility, and I can show you our shop that's got, like I said, I've got, God, I know I got more than 31 or 2 circulating pumps. Oh, that's not including the circulating pumps for the hot water loop. Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about those. Yeah, anyways, sorry. I'm sitting here trying to remember how many pumps. And you gotta remember, my facility's got like 200 bathrooms in it, so yeah. And we're not talking just a little run of hot water lines. If you try to hook up 200 bathrooms to a 1/2 inch hot water line, you're not gonna get water very far without a pump, that's for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough. Dan Miller, I hope this helps you. And thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this video is for @RGE2410. I'll just say George 2410. He asked for a shop tour. I've done one before. It's been a couple years ago, but I'll do another one. 30 by 40 shop, 9-foot sidewalls. I wish I would have did 10 foot. If I do it again, I would do 10. Spray foam insulation. It's got 1.5 to 2 inches. Wish I would have done 4. It is comfortable. I have an electric heater in my rafter, and it is set at 81 degrees, and I do like it warm. I hate cold weather. I tried dying once in the cold, and that sucks. I'm gonna die now. I'm gonna die on the beach somewhere where it's warm. Anyways, coming in the front door, my heater's above the door. I got a 28,000 BTU air conditioner in the wall. I wish I would have done a split unit, but at the time, none were available. So that's what I got. My hatchets up top, all kinds of hatchets. All of them are, except for one, all of them have been repurposed. There's none of them up there that cost me more than $15 bill. Most of them were $5 and under. This is my junk hatchet I keep on the back of the door. I think it's a Frisk or Fisk, whatever they got, Fiskars, whatever they. I got a 20 gauge shotgun, single barrel. It's loaded by the door. Never know. Knife collection. That's just. I think that's most. I'm probably got about 50 knives that are not up there. I like hand-to-hand combat. I'm very comfortable with hand-to-hand. I don't use weapon guns. I haven't carried a firearm in 15 years. I carried it for 21. I'm more comfortable in hand-to-hand combat. I still practice. Even at my age, I'm comfortable taking a 300-pound man down pretty easily. Doesn't take much. Most men can't stand up on their knees anyways. You pop a man's knee, he goes down, cries like a baby, and then you can gut him. I have my wife's couple banana plants in here for the winter, and she's got a couple of pepper plants. I'm gonna pick some peppers there. The cold weather plays hell on them. I've had them in here for about 3 years. Garage sale stuff. From about here with a dartboard all the way to this corner, this is my wife's area. TV, I've got internet, satellite, I've got a refrigerator and a microwave in the back behind the bar area. I have a backup refrigerator. It's not plugged in. I have a 12 volt and a 110 refrigerator, an Igloo cooler style, 134R refrigerant there. I'm building a solar generator. I got some batteries in a box there. Those lithium batteries with charge controller there in a box. But anyways, I'm trying to hurry up and make this video because I got food smoking on the smoker. Like I said, this is my wife's area. This shop is 30 by 40. I wish I would have sealed the concrete when I was finished, but I was in a hurry and did not. That's where I screwed up. But we mop the floor, about once a month during the warm season. I sweep it out. Every other weekend I sweep pretty well. I do have these quick jacks. I leave them here on the floor unless we're having a cookout. Normally we use this area as an extension of our living room. We entertain out here, we cook, we have barbecues out here all the time. And usually we're here in the shop. The quick jacks, they got wheels on one end. You can just roll them up, lean them up against the wall. The hydraulic units just hook up to the ends there. It's a 110 volt hydraulic unit, or 120 I guess. But anyways, let's see if I can get a picture. I leave them in the middle of the floor, and when I drive my vehicles in, I just slide them underneath, hook it up. The bar, everything in this shop was bought used. The love seat is a Lazy Boy. I found one of the older generation Lazy Boys that's actually made with real leather. That was a rip right there I got to fix. The older style Lazy Boys used a high grade leather. I restuffed this one. I can do upholstery work. I got a stain on this, but I paid $100 for this love seat. It's on wheels. It moves around. It's real easy to move, no big deal. I took the legs off and mounted on wheels. Reconditioned the leather, and I pretty much recondition this leather on this thing about twice a year. I use it a lot. Matter of fact, I was just watching television. Got my electric bikes. I'm building another carry toolbox, so I've got this one in here. This toolbox I'm stripping and repainting. I've got an air compressor on both sides of my shop. Got one there, and I got my big one over there. That one I bought brand new. That one I had to bolt to the concrete because it will walk away. It's powerful. This one, I like it. It's quiet. This one was given to me after the fire. Cabinets, toolboxes. I paid, I don't know, like $175 for that off of Marketplace. That cabinet was given to me. One of the best buys in this shop, ladies and gentlemen, is this Pittsburgh Harbor Freight A-frame. I got a, I think that's a 2-ton hoist. That is one of the top 5 buys I've ever made in my life. I can tell you right now, that'll make you feel like Superman. It's adjustable height, it rolls around, locking wheels. I checked several different brands, Atlas, a couple others, and the Pittsburgh was probably the best out of the ones I researched. I don't care if it's made in China. The quality built on this is very good, very good. I highly recommend this. If you have place in your shop, this is ideal. Keep a space open here for my zero-turn riders. I keep a space open in the shop here for my vehicles. Like I said, the couch, it just rolls out of the way, no big deal. Let's go back over here, sorry. Two-wheeler, got my compound, I got my high lift jack, got my cutting torch. I keep it. It's ready all the time. Another Blue Point toolbox. I don't remember. I keep drill bits and stuff like that in there. It's a good little box. This little Blue Point. I think I said High Point. Sorry, Blue Point. It's okay. I got this. That's another buy I bought either for Pawn Shop or Marketplace for like $50, and I restored it, I guess is the word for it. All my drills, and the reason I got all different types of drills is because some of those drills are actually very old, and I keep them up. Every few months I recharge the batteries. I can't say anything bad about them. I just use them. That's just what I got. Toolbox, this big one, It's got a refrigerator in the bottom of it. All of that was given to me. Yeah, and it's loaded. I think I've done a toolbox tour. I can probably need to do another one, but it's loaded. All my drawers loaded. Every tool I got, very few tools I own is brand new. I bought this bottom from Harbor Freight, new. That one I bought Cobalt. I think I bought this one from Facebook Marketplace. And turn around, see if I'll get a picture of this one. This is my hodgepodge. I've got a couple of videos of this one. It's just pieced together. It's a Kennedy, a Renpro. I believe that's a Kennedy. There's a Craftsman, and I believe this top box here was a Craftsman too. And I painted it with a paint cup, auto body paint, actually tractor paint. Got a video on it, piecing it together. I got about $201, I think, in all this. And it's got a lot of tools. That's where I keep most of my pliers, my wrenches, my channel locks, things like that. Anyways, going on, I got my little service platform. I use that when I'm working on vehicles. It's a nice little, these are handy. I think I paid like $25 for this off of Marketplace. And I repaired it and painted it. Brand new plasma cutter, welder, torch. I've only used it once. The Chicago Electric welder, most of you people are going to gripe and complain. It works just fine. There's nothing wrong with these cheap little welders. Most people that use these overuse them, don't know how to use them, and don't know how to weld. So that being said, it's a good little buy if you want to do hobbyist welding, small stuff. It works good. I like my Miller. It's not as good as my old Airco. I had a 1961 Airco and it melted in a fire. This Miller is my replacement. I paid $125 for it. Like it. It takes a little getting used to compared to the old welder I had. My welding cart, my grinders, all my welding stuff. I got my wheels, just a little bit of everything in there. One of the top 5 buys, my little 10-ton press. I had to buy a new bottle jack for it. I bought that off of Marketplace for $75. I love it. That thing there, you don't use them all the time. Great buy though. Great buy. This is Harbor Freight. I bought it new. It's a vacuum system, suck brake fluid, oil, things like that. I actually use that to suck oil out of my mowers. That way I don't have to pull a drain plug. Works great. Extension cords, rope, things like that. Got my clamps. I got all my torches. Every one of these torches have either been rebuilt or seal's been replaced. This one's almost brand new, and I think I paid $25 from a pawn shop. That one, monster torch right there, is only been used, as far as I can tell, a couple times. I got it. It was still in a box out of a pawn shop for 20 bucks. Anyways, I just keep them there. I need them. They're there, handy whenever I need them. Clamps. My pipe wrenches, I got more pipe wrenches. That's just the ones I use. They're handy. Okay, vacuum system. This vacuum system is a Harbor Freight vacuum system. Another one of my top 5 buys. It's a dust collection system. I got rid of everything except the vacuum pump motor. And turn it on. Follow the hose. I just adjust it where I need to go. Okay, cabinets. I keep my fluke meter on the cabinet. I've got 2 of them here at the house. I got 2 of them at work. Cabinets just store rink-dink. They're metal cabinets, old school. One's a military, and one came out of a clinic. My little light, little tables, I've got, what, 5 or 6 Dremel tools set out. I do have a ultrasonic cleaner. I am not good with it. I haven't found a good cleaner to use in it yet. I've had that thing for a couple years and don't use it enough. It's okay, it's not my best. Center here, I've got one of these wood tables from Harbor Freight. I actually like this table. I use it as a work table. It works for me. I built my little, it's just what I use. It's comfortable for me. I mean, I'm the only one in the shop. This works for me. I bought this table from Marketplace with the grinder for 40 bucks. Had wheels already on it. See, the wheels, it rolls around. I make it like a little station. I got my little pipe clamp. I got my grinder, wire wheel. I got another grinder with a flapper wheel. I got a flapper wheel with a polishing wheel. I got another buffing wheel and gray wheel, and then I got this big Wasoda. This is a monster. This thing, it's hard to find wheels for it. It's a commercial unit, and I bought that out of a pawn shop for like 25 bucks. Let's see if I can get a picture of the table. I got wrenches. I literally have thousands of wrenches. Got wrenches. I probably have a few hundred in there. And this one is these are all polished and clean. I may have to show that one day. Let's see, I got another table. This table, there again, got that off Marketplace, paid 50 bucks for it. Put wheels on it, and it has my vise, Buffalo vise. For those of you who need a vise, if you find an old Buffalo vise, excuse me, a lot of these were made in Taiwan. That was given to me after the fire. Love that vise. I can't say nothing bad about that vise. There's nothing. I beat on that thing and it's really great. Made me a little homemade anvil with a railroad track. The small gauge, just welded me a piece of flat metal on top of it. It's worked. You can see where I beat on it. It's worked very well. I like it. I screwed a piece of steel on a small section over here just to have something to beat on. I hate tearing wood up, so this works pretty good. You can see the burn spot where I torched it. I think it's 4x6. Another piece of anvil, I paid 25 for it. That's just to beat on. Paid like $20 for this 4x6 sander. It works. I don't know what brand it is. Oh, it's a Buffalo. Don't use it all the time, but it's handy to have. I have a Rock Island. This thing has been abused. This thing, I didn't do this. I didn't fix it the way it is, but somebody's done it. So this is what I beat on. Keep a magnet on the side of it. It's a Rock Island 572. And great little vise. Wilton vise. Here's another one of my pawn shop find. This was in the pawn shop sitting on the floor. They had 75 on it. I gave them 25. They were glad to get rid of it because everybody kept tripping over it. If you find one of these, I highly recommend it. This vise is really good too. I can't say anything bad. I got it mounted to a receiver hitch. I made a video on that, so if it's in the way, I pull the pin, I slide it off, and I slide it under the table. I've moved it a time or two when I was working on my car. Put the heads up here. This thing was in the way. I just slid it off and put it under the table. Works great. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about a piece of junk. This thing, sandblaster, you can see it. It's from Harbor Freight. Do not buy this thing. It sucks. It sucks so bad. I'm so pissed I bought this thing. Waste of damn money. Oh, I hate this thing. Does not work. Don't like it. I tried to modify it. I tried to make it better. I watched all the videos. Hands down, sucks. Don't buy it. Do not buy a Harbor Freight. And the ones of you that have one and it works, I'm glad for you. I'm really happy that it works. Mine sucks and sucks bad. Do not like it. Will not buy it. I'm in the market for one, have been for a couple years. I have not found one that I can justify paying what they want for them. Drill press. Paid $75 online. Marketplace again, Facebook Marketplace. Love this little drill press. There's a lot you can do with a drill press. I don't know enough. You can use it as a mill machine. I'm not that good at it. I'm still learning. So this thing was, I think it was made in like late 1970s. Made in Taiwan. I don't care. It's a good product. I like it. It works great. Now, my Iron Horse air compressor, this thing's a beast. It's loud. It walks across concrete. That's why it's anchored. I got anchors in it. Had to anchor it because this thing would just, it literally walk across the room. Air hose reel, got my vacuums, insulated door. Now I do have a one of these total shops. A gentleman gave it to me. His grandfather died and he wanted somebody to have it, to use it. Well, I'm going to give it back to him. I don't have the time to use it. I don't build cabinets anymore. I don't have time. And he's got another shop now. He's got a house with a shop, so I think I'm going to give it back to him and tell him thank you. But since it's his grandfather's, I think he should keep it. I've got all the attachments and everything to it. It's really good condition. I think I paid $50 for this little Craftsman bandsaw. This little 10-inch bandsaw. There again, another marketplace. Really like it. I had to find a blade for it. This thing's hard to find blades for. And I had to fix the switch, which is easy. Now, here's 4 and 5 of my top buys. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, love it. Got to get you a post vise. Those of you who don't like mounting to logs or whatever, kiss my, I like it. I mounted my little anvil there. It works right. It's just below my elbow level so I can get full force when I beat on it. So, yeah. I like mounting my vices to a stump. I really like that. It moves around easy. I've got my big reed, my 4C, mounted to a stump. I lacquered the outside of that stump. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a vise. Love that thing. This thing, it just spins. It's good. I can't complain. I've got a location on another one of these. I think I can buy one like this, one more, and I think I can even buy another bigger one. And I think the other big one's like an 8-inch. So anyways, I don't need it, but I can buy it cheap enough that it's fine. I'll buy it. I can't help it. The big vices like that are just hard to come by. If you can find them for under $200, you just got to buy it. I paid $212 at an auction, online auction for that. I paid $175, I think, for this one. Yeah, I really like it. I got a couple other small vices and stuff underneath there. I don't use them anymore. Got a little stuff stored. Let's see, get a picture back here. I'm going quick, sorry guys. Coming in the door. I've got lights on every rafter. There's no shadows in my shop. It's as bright in my shop as it is outside. I do not like shadows. The older you get, the more lights you want. There's 24 feet of light every 5 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 rafters. So that's how I got my lights. Works great. It kind of looks cluttered over there, but I got it set up for me. It's my shop. That's how I work. Everything moves around. The only thing I really like to get rid of, I'm gonna, like I said, get rid of this total shop, and I'm definitely gonna get rid of that sandblaster. Sucks. Harbor Freight, if you're listening, you're suck. That's the only thing I've bought in a long time from Harbor Freight that I really do not like. Like I said, most of my shops usually open like this side, but this is, since it's winter time, trying to save the plants and garage sale stuff for the spring. Got a bunch of tools and stuff I'm gonna sell. Like I said, it works for me. It's my shop. Nothing really super fancy. I should have sealed the floor. That's one of my faults there. And then the other fault that I didn't do was the foam insulation. I should have went 4 inches. I literally should have went 4 inches. Oop, the heater just kicked on. That's a solenoid kicking on the heating element. There she goes, blowing fan. 2 ceiling fans, one over where the sitting area is, and then one over my little bench. Remote. Boy, I wish I could. I don't know. Is there any? I hope I got everything. At RGE2410. Like I said, this it's not a real big shop. It's 30 by 40, and it's actually metal skinned, and it's, if you look real close, it's 6 by 6 posts, and it's framed. It's actually well built. They did a very good job. The concrete, the guy that poured the concrete did a good job. The only other thing I didn't show was I got a vise here on a wheel. I got my battery charging off my mower. It's a Sarrett Athol. I rebuilt this one. This vise is okay. It's not my favorite. It's got a little lashing I gotta fix, but that's my welding. I've welded on it. I probably shouldn't, but I think I only gave $35 for that thing. I didn't give much for it. I got the wire wheel, I got the pipe, had the scrap metal, and it swivels. This whole thing turns. The whole thing turns. If I made it to where, I don't know, I made it to where I wanted it. My shops, that's another thing. I got 220, I got 220, and then I got 220 on the outside of the shop too. And I got 220 there. So I have an outlet on every post. I have an outlet up by the lights. I got an outlet there because I thought I might put in a garage door opener and decided I don't need it, don't like it anyway, so I wouldn't use it. I am going to put one more drop by the shop bench, put me another outlet down. Excuse me. All right, let's see, maybe I get a picture here. Flag was my dad's. Like I said, almost everything in here was bought used. I will say that things that were bought new were like the Quick Jacks. These Quick Jacks, I can't say anything bad about them, nothing at all. They're heavy, but if you do a lot of brakes, if you maintain your own vehicles, first couple times you use them pays for themselves. Then this, I can't say anything bad about this lift, nothing at all, works great. Complete opposite of the Sandblaster. This thing is awesome. And like I said, the vices, can't go wrong with a big vice. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. at RGE, let's see, at RGE2410. I hope you liked the video. The rest of you, I'm sorry. I'm not good at editing. I'm not good at video taking. I'm just a redneck with a friggin' camera. I use my tools. I work a lot. I really have no hobbies, ladies and gentlemen, except for work. That's all I know is work. I used to work 3 jobs at one time. Sleep about 4 or 5 hours a day and go back to work 7 days a week. I've slowed down a little bit. Now I only work about 6 days a week. And during the winter, I only work 1 job unless somebody comes along with the money I just can't refuse. Oh, and somebody's going to ask me about metal detectors. I was a member of the amateur archaeology team. I have looked for evidence. I have looked for criminal evidence. I did use them when I was on law enforcement team. They are, for those of you who think you want to get metal detecting, think twice. The units are expensive. You have to use them a lot to get your money back out of them, or you enjoy them, because a good one's going to run you $1,200–1,300, and it's a long learning curve. I know somebody's going to ask about that. I've had as many as 7. I lost 7 in the fire. Anyways, yeah, that sucks. They are very expensive and they're hard to learn how to use. So those of you that watch the commercials and people pulling rings out of the ground, out of the sand, maybe on the beach, but not in Oklahoma. They're hard to use. You got a learning curve. Anyways, guys, tell me what you think. Like I said, it's not a big shop. It's all I need. It's more than I need, actually. And I use it to work in. I use it to entertain. We do have large cookouts during the summertime and spring. I smoke meat. Right now I'm smoking meat right now. I gotta go. Shoot, I got meat cooking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta go. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening. Give me thumbs up, thumbs down, and enjoy your weekend. Bye.